Okay, so Chinese motorcycle reliability. Recently watched a video where they said that the handling was shit, that the tyres were made of plastic, that the brakes didn't work, that you could hear them rusting on a quiet night, that the top speed was 30 miles an hour in fifth. Well, this is just proving them wrong. A dog had some sort of cat in its mouth. Oh, I'll keep going. Okay, so firstly, we can easily hit 60 in fourth, and then we can just change up into fifth. If I had my mixture screw, because I actually took it out while cleaning my carburetor, and it must have rolled behind my freezer, and I'm just going to find it later. Yeah, if I had my mixture screw, it would be able to perform a lot better. You see, braking, 30 mile an hour signs. We can easily drop to 0 before this slow. See? Okay, so top speed works, which is variable depending on if you tuned your carb, and you can easily hit 60 with it. The brakes work. Admittedly, there's one thing wrong with it that I can see, and you can see it too if you're paying close enough attention. It's the tacho, the rev counter. The cable snapped because it was one of the first things that that I didn't actually maintain properly. Only I don't use a rev counter. You just change gear when you hear the notes, and you can you get used to the way your bike sounds. And that looks like a HGV taking that really wide. Okay, there we go. But let's talk about the bolts falling off. People that say the bolts fall off and they rust away and stuff like that, well, no they don't. If you maintain it properly and you're able to keep an eye on stuff and you keep your bike clean, they won't rust away, they won't disappear, they won't rattle loose. The only time that I do suggest you check your bolts is when you first get your bike, because mine was £600, maybe £700, delivered straight to my door in a crate, already pre-built. So basically the moment it arrives, just make sure that, well, one, it works, two, that all the bits are there and they're put on properly with the right bolts. Just make sure that they aren't able to be loosened by hand. That's a good rule of thumb. If they're able to be loosened by hand, engine vibrations seriously going to fuck that shit up. And then you get the people that say handling. Handling's really not that bad if you are thinking about it properly, because it's a light motorcycle, 2 wheels with a gyroscopic force, and you're doing more than, say, 3 miles an hour. So you can actually stay upright a lot like any other bike. It's just the fact people don't seem to know that. You get the people out there as well that think, oh well, I'm going to buy a bike and I want to make it faster and be a racer. Well, in that case, just buy a race bike, mate. You'll be doing yourself, someone's turned that sign around. You'll be doing yourself a great big favour in the future, because you want overhead cams instead of overhead valves if you want speed, because typically they're newer and better tech. But you can easily see that this bike's got no problem keeping up with traffic anyway, if there was any traffic around here. And it's just a little perfect little bike for a learner, not to mention for a few people that just want to get back into biking, because it's so cheap to run. Seriously, you can get easily in standard configuration 100 miles per gallon. If you modify the configuration, you can get more than that. I've actually got about 112 miles per gallon, as long as I'm not taking it like flat out everywhere from A to B to C to D. Slowing down for this corner because there's always some dodgy crap on the road. See, just there, look, knew it. All in the middle of the road, like little gravel stone chips and horse crap. But there's plenty of things that could go wrong with any bike. It's just the fact that people always badmouth Chinese bikes. Or if you think about it, they was doing that about Jap bikes not too long ago. When Jap bikes first came in, people were there like, oh no, buy a British bike, it's better. Well, no, Jap bikes were better back then, and now Chinese bikes are somewhat on par with the Japanese bikes. Japanese bikes versus Chinese bikes. Chinese bikes always tend to keep at least a little bit more of their value that you paid for them, as opposed to Chinese bikes. No, wrong way around. Okay, let's talk about depreciation value. The main depreciation value of this is that you actually have obviously modifications. If it's modified, you will lose value for the bike, but you do really want some modifications. For example, when this was stock, it could not get faster than 40 miles an hour. So you upgrade that front sprocket to 17 teeth and downgrade the rear sprocket like I did to 38, and you've got no problem just cruising through. And there's many different things that you see, all of which help the bike or hinder it in some way. You get the people out there that say Chinese bikes, they clutter in our streets and they're just piles of junk. Well, that's exactly what they said when my dad was a kid about Japanese bikes. So think about that. But yes, Chinese bikes. Chinese bikes have no difference whatsoever, besides obviously they're Chinese, to Japanese bikes. You do also get ripped off occasionally by, say, mechanics, like this one just here. He will try to rip you off no end. And as you can see, I'm not having any problem keeping up with the flow of traffic or pulling out of anywhere or anything. Fucking idiot reversing it onto a main road. See, that's why you clear the road for those things. Okay, so let's take a look at my bike from the outside, and you'll be able to see what I mean. There's only one bit that I've ever actually managed to find on it that rusts, and that's basically these tiny bits at the back wheel. They will rust, and you can sort that out with a wire bit. And other than that, it's bloody fantastic for the money, really. I could have spent £3.5 grand just on a bike. There's not including petrol on that. And you see, handling's quite easy as well, because that's what people don't like about Chinese bikes. I don't think that guy knows where he's going. Looks like we're waiting here for one mobility scooter, two this driver just did. I think the verdict on Chinese motorcycles is, if it's your first bike, get it, because if you don't, it's going to be absolutely a waste of time. You're actually getting a Japanese bike in the future, mainly because you won't actually have saved any money at all. I'll just give this guy a little nod. He's got a Chinese bike as well. I think that's a what is that called? A Lithian Arizona. That's what it looks like. And let's just talk about being able to keep up with the flow of traffic. This guy in front, doing roughly 59, now 60. It's one of the things that you've got to get used to, is that the drivers around here don't pay attention to speed limits until it's really needed. I'm going to ease off because he's going to brake fairly hard for the corner. I'm willing to bet he puts his brakes on fairly hard. And then avoid the the grates. See, braking fairly hard, the turning right there, and away I go. Okay, so you've got the basic idea that Chinese bikes work fairly well if you maintain them properly. It's just most people that have them don't, and those people that shit talk more than likely never owned one. I'm sure there are some points I'm forgetting.